length of time that it was called the Department of Defense or whatever.
For years. Porsche is an amazing car.
Amazing car. Difficult for you to try and follow is that you're saying, well, he's not really that like of a war-loving president, not like the other ones. He literally changed the Defense Department to the Department of War. He literally had videos where he's like mocking and talking like violently attacking other nations and like being like fun and cool in America, like action movie about it. That's the point. I'm not talking. I wasn't saying the thing that I brought up is irrelevant.
So why did you bring it up?
How are you this slow?
I want to pick your brain. Why did you bring that up? Why did you bring that up?
I just explained it, dog. What I'm saying to you is that you said so 2 + 2 = 4. First of all, we can agree on that, right?
What does math have to do with what we're talking about?
Okay, never mind. We can't agree on that. Never mind. So what I'm saying.
Wait. Let's unpack this. Wait. Why did you just bring into a math equation into this argument?
Yeah, I'm being. It's called being facetious, bro. It's not something to unpack.
But why do you need to do that? Like, do you think that helps you win your argument?
No, I don't.
How often do you beat your girlfriend?
Yeah, that's a thing that has never happened in my life. Are you ready to get back to it?
Oh, you never had a girlfriend?
Huh? No, that's not what those words mean. Words seem to be really difficult for you. Can I just finish what I'm saying, please?
Wait, actually define what a word actually is.
Can I finish what I'm saying? No, I won't do that.
What year, what decade, what century did the word get invented?
Yeah, so I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is answer the first thing that you asked. Severely stupid person. This is crazy. So yeah, I brought up the Department of War because you were positing him as being somebody that is not a warmongering monster. I brought that up.
Well, the Department of War can be a deterrent. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're about
but it's
war.
Not,
that could be a
deterrent. But it's not, though. So
you know how, like,
anything. You get
like for example,
war is like as a program to.
You know why Trump is sending illegals to countries over in Africa and all around the world?
It's to scare the other illegals.
He's doing that as a deterrent to deter other illegals from coming to the country, and it's actually working.
That's why the debt prices is going up.
Hey, so Paz, no, I can just fuck with you, Paz, but for real, Paz, you gotta understand about some style of leadership. You know, America has big power.
I'm not talking
about places like France.
I'm not.
They're more diplomatic, right? So when you're in a nation with stick power, what happens is they will posture these sticks as a deterrent. So he's pretty much letting the world know that if y'all want to go to war, we'll take you to war. And I'm going to name this department the War Department to let you know that we're war ready. Because sometimes that posturing can be a very big deterrent to actually going to war.
And what history says?
They do it with nukes all the time. Don't no country want to use nukes.
What history says?
They posture these nukes to let the other country with nukes let them know that if you nuke us, we're going to nuke you 10 times.
What?
Yeah, we'll blow the world up, but so be it. You started it.
First of all, that's very, very fucking stupid. Second of all, he's talking about using the Department of War like against like immigrants. Like he's like, we're gonna show them why it's called, the Department of War.
So he did that for immigrants?
So he's a piece of shit monster. He's a warmongering person.
So he changed
What immigrants did he change
the Defense Department to the Department of War for immigrants?
What immigrants did he change it against?
That's not what I said.
You literally just said that.
No, I did not literally say
maybe I misheard
words
you.
are
What did
so
you say?
difficult for you. Yes.
What did you say? Maybe I misheard you.
What I'm referring to is like what I think is a tweet or something like that. One of them videos that he put on social media that came from like the White House. It said something along the lines of, "We'll show them why we changed it to the Department of War." I'm slipping my mind, but that it negates. Shut up for a second. It negates shut the fuck up for a second. It completely negates your concept of him being this anti-war person. That's what I'm talking about. Like the whole point of
Go.
bringing
He
this up
just said
in
they
the
changed
beginning.
the War Department for the immigrants.
No,
Show
that
the
is
immigrants.
not what I fucking said. That is absolutely not what I said. Why are words so difficult for you? They're extremely difficult. Very basic concept. I speak so precisely, and I pick my words very carefully. I absolutely did not say what you just said. I didn't even say something that was even close to that. I hope the replays is on so that niggas can see that that's absolutely not what I said. It is just speaking to a severe lack of comprehension on your on your side. It's not what I said.
So what did you say?
I did not say that he changed the Department of Defense for immigrants. I never said that. What I said, and I'm referring to some kind of social media post, and I'm even saying that the exact details of it are slipping my mind right now, but I'm quite certain that there's some post social media where the White House posted something, and I think that they're even talking about immigrants, and he said they'll see why it's called the Department of War. That doesn't mean that they changed it to the Department of War for immigrants. It just means that they are going to enact war-like tactics on illegal immigrants and people that support them. How is this so confusing for you? It's really easy to see how people like y'all ended up thinking that Trump was like the better option because there's just a severe lack of critical thinking. That's why you niggas seen Kamala Harris and Trump, and somehow, and I hate Kamala Harris, I'm not a fan of her. She very obviously was the better option. It's insane to think otherwise. You have to be a severely, unbelievably stupid or evil person to think otherwise.
Why do you hate Kamala Harris?
This shows it. Because I'm from Oakland, California, and I have had a lot of familiarity with her, and I do not like how friendly she has been with like SFPD, with Oakland PD, her refusal to hold police officers accountable. It's actually not any of the shit that people talk about in the media, because I know that those things are more nuanced, like the whole thing about like cannabis and things like that. She actually has done some progressive things in that department that a lot of people don't talk about. Like she actually did spearhead a program that was dedicated to rehabilitation and helping people who had been arrested for cannabis crimes and things like that. It's not that. It's actually her refusal to hold police accountable for things that happen out here in the Bay Area that were egregious cases of racial profiling, of harassment, of police brutality that was targeted, people that were murdered, people that were beaten, and her refusal to hold them accountable because she was very like close and friendly with the police out here. You know, like they call her the top cop. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the truth. So yeah, there's plenty of reasons I don't fuck with her. I don't fuck with her stance on Gaza. I don't fuck with a lot of things about her. But if I don't fuck with her for her stance on Gaza, then I'm absolutely not fucking with the dude who is like sucking Netanyahu's dick, who literally is talking about flattening Gaza and like moving out of the. He's literally talking about ethnic cleansing. So yeah, I that's the thing about like presidents and leadership is it actually is unfortunately the lesser of two evils. And if anybody on this planet thought that Trump was the lesser of two evils, they're either an evil person who does not care about humanity, or they're a severely stupid person who was gullible enough to actually believe the things that Trump said.
Well, it was only like 80 million Americans, so it wasn't that many. It was like only 80 million. Really 90 million.
Yeah, and there's a huge problem with education in this country. Would you agree?
10 other million.
You agree that there's a huge problem with education in this country, right?
Yeah, 10 other million for the Democrats didn't come out, so actually 90 million people agreed with Donald Trump on that. So I don't.
That's stupid math.
They say the numbers don't lie.
What does that have to do with what I said?
The numbers don't lie.
Numbers have context,
What
though.
does that have to do with what I just said, though? How does that relate to what I said?
They're not going to be able to refute nothing you said, Password. They're not going to be able to refute nothing you said, because everything he said is on par with what happened in the election. Even his honesty about his views on Kamala Harris. He could have came out and said that he loved Kamala. Nah, his views was honest on that, but he understood that, hey, in a cycle like this is what we're getting. Unfortunately, hey, I'm not sure what you guys' political views were prior to 2016, but we know MAGA didn't exist. So I'm going to believe that the propaganda wave of MAGA really worked on you guys. That's all I can assume. Like a lot of black conservatives on this app claim that they were Democrats at one point and then say that the Democratic Party left them type shit. And I'm starting not to believe that. I'm starting to believe that these were politically ignorant people from the beginning. And once somebody like Trump came around, who could spew some of the rhetoric that they could get behind. Like it's somebody in the chat that said Trump is running America in a masculine way. Like what the fuck do that mean?
That means a lot. And if you don't understand that, if you don't understand that,
what does that mean?
If you don't understand that basic,
I understand what masculinity is. I understand what masculinity means, but he's not doing a good job.
He's not running America like a beta male.
So what the fuck does that mean?
Like if you look at Joe Biden,
He's a cuck to Russia.
Absolutely,
he's a cuck to Israel.
Like a beta male, though.
He's a cuck to Russia.
He absolutely is running the country like a beta male. What the fuck are you talking about?
He's a cuck to Russia. He's a cuck to Israel.
Hold on, Rob. He's bending over for everybody, bro. You over here sucking on Netanyahu's dick, bro.
Hold on, hey Rob, but seriously, hold on, y'all. Hold on.
President that we ever had.
Hold on, but Rob, wait, Rob, you can't, wait, Rob. During the campaign, right? During Kamala Harris and Biden's campaign, I swear to God, bruh, Harris's campaign, I swear to God, bruh, every male that spoke at her rallies, every male that showed up for her was a gay male, bruh. Literally every last one of them, bro.
That's just not true, but if that's all you saw, I'm not going to tell you what you saw. It's wrong.
And
I'm gonna tell you
what's the point, but what? And then what?
That's because y'all support it, man. Y'all support that shit.
Well, what's the?
It ain't got nothing to do with me supporting. It ain't got nothing to do with me supporting what two people do in their bed. I don't give a fuck what two people do in their bed. I'm supporting certain policy that affects people like me. That's what I'm supporting. It ain't got nothing to do with supporting the LGBT community.
What up, Sam?
And for the record, I ain't got no issue with them. They deserve human rights.
No, of course.
I ain't tripping about that.
Yeah,
You feel me? But the fact that y'all, here's the thing. Let me say this real quick. Kamala pivoted. This is the crazy thing. Kamala pivoted from the trans conversation. There's an interview that went out in like maybe June, May of 2024 where they asked her about that, and she politicianed the question. Man, it was the Republicans running the motherfucking me ads on Sunday football, making y'all believe that motherfucking transgender, who 1% of the population, who the bulk of us don't even motherfucking see, are somehow about to have our kids, like taking our kids out the bathroom. I'm a father of two girls.
And that's a whole nother issue. The fact that that's such a small percentage of the population, but yet seem like they had the largest voice in when it comes to
what voice did they have? Bro,
That's kind of like
what did they have?
That's kind of like you don't represent a lot of black men, but you yell the loudest.
Because
what did they have?
You cannot ignore the fact that for the last years, from TV, everything revolves around that community, bro.
That's not true.
And when it came to the
For you, it does, but not in general.
Listen,
nigga, what are you talking about?
Bro, when it came to the Democrats, you would thought that was just literally the LGBT party.
No, that's your perception of it, and that's proper. That's your perception of it, and you can't understand anything beyond that. That's the problem. No, I'm not gonna listen because you've been talking. So this is a dialogue as I understood it. So your perception of the party is that, and that's fundamentally your problem. That's fundamentally Notorious's problem, and a number of other of you minority Negroes who think that that's the basis of the Democratic Party. That's the problem.
With a landslide. Trump said Kamala Harris is for them, they, I'm for you.
That's just good marketing, which is that's good marketing, but that works on people without an education like you. But that doesn't work on smart people.
You got landslided by a old 70-year plus.
That is true.
Alleged white racist.
I don't know about landsliding, but you
got landslided, bro.
But you also got landslided. The difference is you don't know that you're involved in that number too. But that's beside the point. But she did lose. We have to acknowledge that. But the bottom line is you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to your perception of the Democratic Party, because that's where that's with how you've been influenced. And it's very easy. That was the purpose of it. You fell for the banana in the tailpipe. That's exactly how it's supposed to work. It influences people who can't think for themselves. You are in that number.
You fell on the banana. Listen.
Okay, but I mean that's not even funny and stupid. But I mean I'm just saying the point of that marketing was, and we have to admit it was accurate. I mean it was useful. It was actually useful that what they intended for it to do, it actually did.
we bring in masculinity in every factor back to this country.
How does that manifest itself, Fridays? Can you show us that?
Quinn, you can no longer let.
No, I'm asking you a question in earnest. What does bringing masculinity back to America look like?
You can no longer
look like excellence.
for the
Nigga, do you think you're
children.
masculine, Fridays? Look at you.
There's no more trainee reading hour with our kids.
That's not true.
Masculine to be a fat.
That's not true.
We ain't doing none of that lascivious legislation that y'all love doing. Listen, y'all would no longer be grooming our kids anymore. We're shutting down pedophilic rings and all of that. All that sick shit that y'all be on. All that national grooming that y'all been on for the last decade. We've had enough of that, bro.
If I was standing next to you Friday,
trannies are
and
not
two
reading
women was
books
there,
to our
who do you
kids
think they gonna
anymore.
say
We're
is
not
masculine,
doing that
brother?
no more, bro. We're not doing that no more.
Here's a clue, Fridays.
Y'all
That wasn't
You
happening.
ain't been
Y'all are
masculine.
not
wasn't-
taking over our women's
What is
sports.
this? What is going on?
Bullshit no more.
That wasn't happening in
It's just
abundance
a
before,
biological man in
Fridays.
California who just broke all the
But
women's
where
sports
people
records.
want it to happen, it's happening. That's the point.
Y'all,
The point-
I'm more feminist.
that's the point.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I'm more feminist than most of y'all.
Do you stop talking?
I'm more feminist than a lot of y'all. I want to protect women.
I would agree with that. You're definitely more feminine than most of them.
You're more feminine.
Sports.
You're more
I wanna
feminine. You
protect-
have more fat on your body.
I want to
so that makes
protect
sense.
women's agency.
You have childbearing hips. You have childbearing hips, my nigga. That doesn't make you a feminist.
Hey, listen, I want to protect. I
Definitely got more estrogen.
Sports.
Yeah, man. This nigga
There's
think
no
because
way,
he got.
a biological
he got
man
ass.
he just broke all the women's records in California. Y'all laughing.
Ass, bro. What the fuck?
He was being facetious, bro. Come on.
No, hey, Armenians, this is how sick these people are, bro. And look, I swear to God,
Sometimes I wonder if y'all really believe this or if you're actually just trolling. Like if you just, I really don't ever know.
I think it's a little bit of
clean this, bro.
It's gotta be, man. It's scary both ways.
I was about this the other day, bro. I
trying to troll it into
understand why
reality.
people in that.
You were thinking the other day? We gotta hear this.
I understand why people in y'all community hate Trump. I truly understand that.
In our community, what is our community, Friday?
Most of the smoke that Trump has had, as far as
Gotcha. So you don't answer the question. What is our community? What is our community?
Your LGBT community. I understand why y'all hate
Who's
Trump, because he has put a lot of
neither Cass nor I are part of the LGBT. Nor I.
Let him
Hey, he has put a lot of pressure.
He never
on y'all,
finishes.
So I get it.
You get what?
I get why y'all got so much
How-
smoke.
how-
for him,
how-
'cause he has a lot of smoke for y'all. I get
How
that.
does according to
the Republican National Convention of Philadelphia, they shut down a goddamn gay website. All them folks.
Go do your research on that, Rob. Do your research. But I know you ain't gonna do it because you love it. You know what I'm saying? You love
Just
your
saying.
team.
What's the
Go
research?
do your research on it.
What's the research?
I guarantee you it's not what you think it is. Go
What's
do
the
it.
research? I know that there's a lot of closet ass, gay ass white men.
Go ahead. Go do the
But
research.
Republicans like Lindsey Graham.
What he's going to tell you, Rob, is that there were some young white kids who intentionally tried to shut it down. That's the story that's been circulated. Notorious doesn't know any better.
Probably just fake in general. Probably just a fake
It's
story.
not.
It's not a fake story.
Not a
Go ahead.
fake
Post it in
story.
the chat and let's take a look at it. Post it in the chat.
You supposed to
Posted
be
in
done.
the
You don't
chat.
want to claim that you got the
actually
source.
happened.
You don't want to claim you got the source.
And this is real coming from you because you don't support any of your arguments with any.
I think you guys are trying to convince yourself. You're not convincing me.
We're not trying to. There is no convincing people like you.
I don't have to convince myself. You people are the ones who are obsessed with gay people. For y'all not to be punks. For y'all not to be punks. Y'all sure is worried about them all the motherfucking time.
We're worried about them a lot.
The Republicans,
Y'all talk about trans people more than trans
They
people.
have a vision. They have a purpose.
Y'all niggas is punks.
We have a great motto for this country, and we're moving forward. It's
Our motto is a multiple felon, multiple time felon. What has he been divorced 3 times? 3 different baby mamas.
Support that culture, felonies,
how do
divorces. Don't y'all support that?
Who is y'all?
You
What is there? When has there ever been any legislation or any?
prison reform. Why y'all got what y'all got against fellas?
Who was the prison reform bill written by?
Why do we need it?
See, every time we ask about legislation, nobody has a fucking thing to say. But about your feelings and about all these other things, yeah, they all got a lot to say.
I'm eating this good food.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but you could manage to say it when you ask the question, though. So I'm asking you.
I can speak what I want. This ain't the
I didn't say that you couldn't. I asked you a question, brother.
This ain't the Democrat.
You the one that made the comment. I'm asking you who wrote the bill.
And I'm going on mute.
Exactly.
Yeah, it works.
Because you don't know.
I don't give a fuck.
Exactly. So stop saying shit if you don't know what you're talking about.
Shut up, bitch.
Chill is Michael.
Man, they're not gonna be participating in the Olympics with our women. That, like, I'm reading the shit that they saying.
This motherfucker's crazy, bro. I remember one day, it was.
Looks like I got kicked. Well, then that's a success, Sin. Hope you're having a great day. This has been Kamala Harris, Laws and Justice with candidate John. Go to johnforcongress.com. Text the campaign at 312-498-0517. Hope you're having a great day, Sin. This has been In the Mouth, Kamala Harris, Laws and Justice.
They're fighting because they're defending from something that happened.
If you live by the beach and your house and the light washed away and the beach washed away, who's gonna pay?
My insurance company.
What if you didn't have insurance? Alright, who's gonna
Well, you need insurance for if you're buying a home. You need insurance. Exactly.
What I'm saying, you know what's beautiful about you guys? You guys put votes in campaigns. The second that the government or the empire that crumbles underneath your feet is gone, I wonder what you're gonna do. But one thing I will tell you is that no empire lasts forever. Yeah, it sounds like a joke now because you can't believe anything like that. Because everyone's like, you couldn't believe COVID.
Did you ever think that you were going to die? Is that your problem? You never thought that you were going to die?
I didn't think I thought it was forever, but I don't even think that. God save the Queen! Was I the only one actually thinking that it's actually going to last forever? When am I going to be the king? I don't want to be the king.
Everybody else but black people. So what he did, he restructured it so it only benefited black people. I guess that's racist.
Shout out Donald Trump.
Yeah, shout out Trump, man. He be cleaning up, man. He been taking away federal jobs from niggas like Clinton, man. That's why they down bad, bro. Yeah, I was wasting money. You niggas was wasting fucking money.
Yeah, Queen still here? You go.
Nah, he left when I dropped that truth bomb on him. He had to get out of here.
He cooked you real bad.
No, he's still here.
He cooked you.
Yeah. Quinn, to answer your question, I wanted
Perhaps you guys could get some real moderators and they can move me to the bottom and then start talking to me. That's also fucking stupid. But yeah, go ahead, Notori.
Yeah, no, I was going to say in one area, and this is not my opinion.
Shut up, stupid. Not you,
This is
Notori.
your guys' narrative, right? Your guys' narrative is that Donald Trump has basically put a firewall in the most important entity in America, which is the Supreme Court. These aren't just smart men who make good common sense decisions. No, it's conservative leaning. So hasn't Donald Trump been pretty effective on that in terms of what he wanted from the conservatives and changing the the narrative in this country.
I would argue that Mitch McConnell was actually effective in doing that, and he
Oh,
actually.
he would argue that Mitch McConnell was much more effective. The effectiveness of Mitch
And get back to the
McConnell.
actual discussion.
Sir.
So what was your overall point? Your overarching point, if there was one?
I didn't really have a point. My point.
No, that's it. There we go.
No,
You're right.
My point was is that you guys were saying that there was an issue with policy as if Donald Trump is not being effective, right? And I'm telling you that I disagree with you that Donald Trump is being extremely effective. As I said, I used your own talking points. You guys said that 45% of Project 2025 was already done, and he's only been in office like 8 months. So
Extremely effective.
Pretty damn good, right? Like, so I don't understand what you guys are saying when y'all saying how you say Donald Trump is dumb, he's this, he's that. Well, why the fuck is he being so effective? Extremely effective.
That's what winning looks like.
I mean, what can you say to this? I mean, there's no basis from which you can talk to people who don't have any common sense. I mean, if you think that's winning, what can I say?
It's winning for the people that voted for him. Why don't understand? It's like y'all want Trump to do shit for people he didn't vote.
He's not. This is where your stupidity continues to persist. He's not just governing the people that voted for him. I know that's the way that you view politics.
I get that,
but that's not the way that. No, you don't get that. Because if the people that he's supposed to govern for the people of the United States. So if you're not governing and the country at large is not winning, then there's a small segment of the population who do manage to actually cheat in order to be able to do that. No, because you're interrupting me. So I'm gonna keep just talking. I can keep doing something, and I know better than you, and I actually know what I'm talking about.
So I can get my.
No. You can just stop fucking talking and have an exchange.
Because this is loser.
That's what losers do when they can't compete in conversation. They try to move people away from the conversation instead of having. No.
Yo, listen, this is all I'm saying, Quinn.
No, I'm not going to listen to you until you actually answer questions.
Okay,
so I'm not going to listen.
I'm talking to the room, then. I'm talking to this room. I'm talking to Notorious. Hey, Notorious, here's the thing. Here's the real hit. He made campaign promises.
What do you expect?
He had a campaign mission. He stated these campaign missions. The majority of Americans voted for these campaign statements that he made.
Is that Goo? No.
No, I don't know who that is.
You just called him.
Hey guys, it's Goo. It's my new account.
Oh my god, I hate you.
You're still spying like a little.
This faggot John. Yeah, John Kitover.
He was probably recording us. Oh, he's probably here on A9.
Yeah, but shout out to Darren LaHood. Everyone vote Darren LaHood for Congress. John Kitover is an unstable psycho.
Okay. Yeah, John Kitover, aka Edmonds, deserves to be in a psych ward.
Yeah.
With the damn psych ward, man.
I'm actually.
I don't want to see any of the rest of my. I'm waiting for my birth certificate to be doxed now on YouTube. I'm ready for my birth certificate to be doxed. I'm ready for my son's birth certificate to be doxed. Come on, do it all.
Keep the title. Vote Darren LaHood for Congress in Chicago, Illinois, and. John Kitover he can't even get enough signatures for the ballot. The guy paid people to go collect signatures. He doesn't have the balls to go door to door and collect shit himself. He doesn't want to put in the work. He'll never be. He left. Oh no, he's still here. He'll never be in Congress. What's his name? John Kitover.
Yeah, fat John Kitover.
You know the one that goes naked on YouTube?
Oh my God. Oh, he goes naked. Oh, I knew you was a faggot.
Yeah, I have pictures on my other phone. Hold on, I should charge it and send it to you guys. I have naked photos of him on YouTube.
Oh God.
Wait. See, this is how you know YouTube is a
Because
bitch,
I knew
man.
it would be good for like ammo. That's why I took a screenshot. It's good.
Look, but see, YouTube. Wait, so is he actually naked? Or?
No, just shirtless, bro. No, bro. He's
yeah.
down to his boxers, bro. Like, he's naked.
Yeah, that is shirtless.
Wow, so
He ain't got no
the
pants
shit.
on. And I
Yeah.
can see everything.
Wow, YouTube.
I got
man, see,
another one.
you know,
He's like wearing like a men's underwear, like men's panty.
If you're like me, you can take pictures in the shower and people are gonna, distribute them. But if you're like John, you don't want that shit on your phone. Come on.
John,
I have your pictures too. I'm not gonna lie.
I was impressed, Prince. I was impressed.
Who said that?
Friends, don't be bragging about your sins. Be modest, man. Come on.
Who's impressed?
Can't nobody on this motherfucker say they got any naked pictures of me. I'm so proud.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I know for a fact. I don't send nudes out.
I already seen that.
That's a lie.
Oh, you heard that, didn't you?
Friends, come on, man. Respect the Muslim sisters on stage, bro.
All right.
Be modest.
Why didn't you tell Wednesday when she said she was impressed?
Because you're the ones, trying to entice people to do haram, bro, and I don't like that. I'm coming straight to the source.
Okay, I agree. I'm not the source. She's impressed, bro.
What? Yeah, wait. I was minding my own little business. This is what happened, right? I was minding my own little business on the panel. Just right? All of a sudden, I see a naked body right there. I'm like, whose body is this? And then it was Prince. I was like, oh, okay, not bad. See? How was I able to lower my gaze when I was staring at my phone?
That's crazy. She had her gaze lowered at her phone and then had to lower it even more. Come on, bro.
My bad. Okay, I totally forgot to buy food.
What?
What'd you just
Hold
say?
on, I'm making my mind up if I want to go home or if I want to go to the Arab street. Or, bro, do you know? Oh my God. Yeah, keep looking, Habibi.
Nah, you don't belong in the Arab spaces anymore, bro. Enough of that shit.
Just amazing when Arabs recognize each other across the street. Habibi.
You know him or you just know he's an Arab?
Bennett.
That's like Latino. That's like Latinos, and then we just start dancing and salsa.
Bro,
Compa.
Saudi girl walking around the city center with the
Wait, so Puerto Ricans have a certain version of salsa, and then you have the Mexicans have a different version?
I don't know what the Mexicans dance. No, we don't have no. Oh, salsas and dancing. But Puerto Ricans, we don't eat like tacos and stuff like that.
Oh no, I know that. I'm saying I was talking about the salsa dance.
You ever been to the Puerto Rican Day Parade? That shit is lit.
The
other day, I went there. I was there for it last year, I think in June. And they had the dude with the Spider-Man outfit. And he was just busting moves. That shit was hilarious.
Wait, you didn't know who was the Grand Marshal? It was what's his name? Priest from WWE.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, you know he's Puerto Rican, right?
When I went into the parade, by the way.
Talking about him?
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican. He grew up in the Bronx.
Right.
Bronx.
He grew up in the Bronx, man.
Shit.
Yeah, he grew up in the Bronx. And I bet you don't even know that he's literally in his 40s. He looks pretty good though.
Yeah, he is.
Shout out to Fat Joe, to all the Puerto Ricans. Shout out to the Bronx. Shout out, you know where it was? Wednesday, it was right by right by that Catholic church in downtown or in New York City. You know what I'm talking
St.
about?
Patrick Cathedral?
Yeah.
St. Patrick Cathedral. Yeah.
That's where I ran into it. There's actually two by the Israeli, I don't know, their consulate or some bullshit they have there.
Did you spit at it?
I flipped it off and I posted it online. And then I went to the ADL headquarters.
Yeah, let me just go ahead and do that. Hold on real quick. Let me go ahead and fund you.
We got
See you at.
What you talking about?
فين وخمسة نير خودش شد چیز کرد
That was about the Yom Kippur War or going into Lebanon. Maybe it was the Yom Kippur. Something Tears, Valley of Tears. Do you see that?
I'm trying to translate it back to Hebrew.
Hebrew would be. Hold on, let me find it. It was very good.
Who did it? Khan? You know, Khan?
Here, it's in the Bekaa Valley.
Yeah, Baka, Emeka Baka. That's what I said.
Yeah.
It's not tears. Baka is like crying if you would bechi.
In English, it's okay. So in English, it's Valley of Tears.
Yeah, I get it. This is why I said I need to kind of translate it back and kind of be imaginative to kind of. And then I was like, Emeka Baka, Emeka bechi. Maybe this is what she means. Emek of tears. Okay, got it.
Did you?
I'm trying to see who was in that.
It's in Ramat Golan.
תודה.
תודה רבה. בבקשה.
בבקשה.
מה שלומך? How are you?
מה שלומך?
מה שלומך?
Do you know my favorite word for the ladies?
What?
My favorite word for the ladies is matok.
Matok is for guys, but
Listen, don't lie.
The drink?
Matok is basically sweet, but it's in a.
It's masculine. It's masculine.
But it's masculine, yes. Metuka.
How do you say it feminine though?
Metuka.
Can I teach you a great word?
Metuka.
When is a great word?
Say again. I thought you were trying to troll me, trying to say.
No. I'm going to teach you a good word. This is the word.
No, I thought that I was trolling him, that I said that Matok is for guys and Metuka is for girls.
So, I thought you meant I should say it to the guys.
No, I'm going to tell you what to say to a girl. I'm going to tell you what to say to a girl.
Yeah, I understand. I understood you.
Yeah.
No.
I say brother, Daniel, yeah, because I know about grammar and how to learn languages. That's how I realized you're talking about the feminine masculine.
Okay, so to a girl, you want to call her a haticha.
Well, you know what I mean? I've had a few Lebensteins in my life, you know?
Say hatiha.
Can you say chet?
And for the men,
that was the only thing that was sort of like interesting, and then everything else was just like pointing out sort of how a couple hundred years ago Luke's ideas were not weird, but now they are, sort of thing. Like, I'm pretty sure that if you go back 200 years, Luke's opinions on a lot of things would have been like, you know, not really all that weird. But just pretty much pointing out a bunch of things that are kind of bizarre to have and
21st century. What you guys are saying, y'all saying how you say Donald Trump.
Well, I'm interested actually to see if you agree with Luke on some of these things. Rosa Parks not sitting at the back of the bus and obeying authority was a sin.
Rosa Parks not sitting at the back of the bus. Was it a sin? I guess I have a very different opinion on that. Than it was a sin. I think it was a sin for. I think it was a sin for very different reasons.
So Luke's rationale was disobeying the state is a sin, even to things that are morally questionable or easy for people to parse in the 21st century, where this is like, oh,
wait, why does he think it was a sin? Because it was a woman disobeying, or because she was black?
Has nothing to do with that. Just the fact that you're disobeying the state's laws.
Let me guess. Luke thinks that the Protestant movement is into.
Essentially, the second half of the article that he wrote is just a bunch of random examples that are not really consistent with how most people feel nowadays.
Romans 13 is the widely used and cited chapter in obeying the government, but most people don't understand it. It describes a role of a just and good government, and we have to obey that. But when the government goes against God's commandments and laws, we're supposed to stick to the God's commandments and laws.
So Andrew, if you read the article, and this is how I interpret it, all laws created are just because moral authority is from the church and the state is to implement those, and therefore somehow by
it's a fallacy.
I'm not saying hold on, don't debate me. I'm not having any of these opinions, but I think this was sort of the gist of it.
I'm not debating you, I'm just dismantling the article on the fly.
Okay, got it. But I also, I mean, if you want to look at it, I might be conveying it incorrectly. If you want to take a look, but it might not be worth your time.
Hey, Tidwell, I'm getting ready for you.
You're warming up on chess? You're getting good?
Yes, sir.
Well, we have a chess tournament.
Got me a 94.8% accuracy. How do you like that?
That's pretty good, depending on how many moves you did. Was it more than 2 moves? When you do chess.com and you do the review and it says like, well, you played as if you had this rating. I love that stuff.
No, I like to analyze them, even post. I had a 94.8 accuracy, and rating was a 2000. The reason for that
Andrew?
is just, yeah.
I'm Mike 21 on chess.com. MikeTwenty 1. If you want to send me a friend request, I'll play you.
Wait, say again? What?
Mike 20, spelled out with a 1 on the end.
Got it.
I was having so much trouble with chess.
Me too.
Intellectually.
You know what I've noticed? If I'm a little off on sleep, in fact, I use chess to determine how tired I am and my what is the state of my brain to do something. That's what I use it for mostly. I use it to see how bad I lose, and that determines whether I do this task or that task.
Chess always seemed to me like a memorization game.
Mental peakness. Openings are middle game. I think there's a lot of recognition for middle.
You want to hear something funny, John said?
there's a guy named Magnus Carlsen who plays in blitz tournaments, and he will purposely make the most crazy, stupid moves at the very beginning, just to people off memorization paths. And that's like one of his strategies is he'll just do like some batshit crazy like 2-year-old moves, or he'll just like move his king out, just like move it, like just do weird shit, and then
Cloud.
Yeah, Bong Cloud. Yeah, he'll do all sorts of weird shit that like no one does, and then everyone's just thrown off their game because like everyone memorizes the first like 6 or 7 moves of like everything, and then it's like this just totally throws them off.
Well, see, what I know about you, Tidwell, is that you memorize the most esoteric lines that people don't expect either, and then you get them that way.
I love getting someone. I love getting someone in like a really weird situation where I have like 50 moves memorized, and I just get the dopamine hit. I lose no time on my clock. They're like thinking, and for some reason, it's just so satisfying.
Yeah.
See, that's why I'm always bothered by it. It's just like a memorization game, so I never bothered to do it.
But this is super specific. Like you have to think of it like this. Like you've heard like the combinations of like the factorial. Like in the first like 6 moves, there's like a cajillion possibilities. There's no way to memorize everything. It's just you can get into specific lines. What?
Like I know the math says that, but I just don't believe that that's actually like the reality. I know too many chess players who are like, it just seems like a memorization game to me. It's how I've always felt.
It is for the opening. What Andrew said is correct. It is for the opening for a lot of people, but after that opening, there is no memorization.
Yeah, then you gotta see the few moves ahead and the patterns, and you have to be good at recognizing other things.
And that's why people that want to get into chess now, you wouldn't learn like a mainstream line. You'd learn like a style that isn't like a popular opening where no one's really memorized your opening, and then you're pretty much on par with people going into like the game. You wouldn't like if someone is trying to like get you to play a position, like you just wouldn't play it. You'd play something else, and then you throw them off memorization, and then you're sort of on square one. You might be at a slight disadvantage in theory, but you at least get off the memorization path where you're playing this game of who can memorize the best move, 12, 13, 14 moves in. So like most people that are really good, they purposely make weird moves at the beginning just so they don't have to worry about the memorization piece of it.
Interesting.
Tidwell, you ever dabble into, I forgot the name of the setup where it's randomized a little bit? The chessboard?
Okay, so Johnson, listen to what I'm about to talk to with Andrew about. You'll like this. So this is called Fisher 720 or
Oh yes, yeah.
So check this out, Johnson. You start the game, and it gives a random setup. So all the pawns are still in the front, but all the back rank pieces, there's 720 combinations of valid setup, and it's a brand new game with no theory, no books, no nothing on the setup. And this has become a popular format just to pretty much address the concern that you just brought up, Joseph, which was, oh, you're just going to fucking beat me because you have 15 moves memorized. This pretty much gives 720 unique starting positions, and you don't know what the position is until the start of the game.
Understood. Do you know why my is met with that specific setup? Do you know?
Yeah, because these people are gonna fucking memorize, and you're gonna be at a huge disadvantage.
No, it's because Bobby Fischer himself agreed that the game was just a memorization game.
Oh yeah, no, 100% though. Like yeah, Fischer was trying to address that. Yeah, no, you're totally right. But also, that only for the opening. Still, he was trying to get rid of the opening memorization, like piece of chess. Right, like chess is like classically broken up into 3 parts, and you can memorize some end-game positional stuff, and you can memorize some opening stuff.
Is Fischer 720 actually gaining popularity?
So it's interesting because there's tournaments and stuff. But the most popular formats now are going to be blitz and bullet games, where you have very low time on the clock and you don't have time to like think for like minutes and minutes and minutes per move. Those seem to be like the more like popular things that are going on right now. And the 720 tournaments are interesting because the thing I'm thinking is like, well, how do you like how does the committee pick the position? And they pick a position at random with a random generator. But you know what's funny is like no one's allowed to know the position, because if you do, you could study the position before the game, right? Each round of the game you would know the position. So there's potential there where if you somehow sabotage the random generator or you knew what they were going to do, you could study the positions ahead of time. That's kind of like an interesting attack vector at these tournaments, which I don't know has that's been a problem.
We should do this and generate it with blockchain.
Hey, right. Like the entropy from the last block. Right, the last block's hash.
Well, no, it has to be the next block. You can't start a game until the next block.
That's funny. And then the next block happens, and then it tells you the position, and then you start the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, it's like everyone's just waiting for the next block. It's like a 50-minute block. Everyone's just like intently just staring at each other, waiting.
Yo, Tidwell, do you ever play the games on lichess.org?
Chess? L-I?
L-I-C, yeah.
Yeah, Lee Chess, yeah, that's another good one. But, hey, Andrew, were you going to send me a friend request on chess.com?
Oh, I'll do that a little bit later.
Oh, okay.
He's thinking about it, Michael. He doesn't like you, so.
No, I didn't realize he didn't like me until just now. I just fucking found out about it. I'm about to leave this chat room.
Don't be so sensitive.
I'm leaving.
Hey, Tidwell. Dave the other day asked how many hours of playing would it take for him to get as good as you. I want to know your answer on how many hours that would take.
Probably a year of dedication, maybe like 8 months, 6 months, if you really.
How many hours a day?
How many hours?
It'd be like a full-time job maybe for like 6 months.
8 hours a day, 6 months.
What if he joins one of those like children's chess clubs?
Maybe like 20 hours a week for 6 months. 20 hours a week for 6 months, you could get better than me. That's what it would take. 20 hours a week, 6 months. If you're coming from zero.
So roughly 500 hours.
520 hours, yeah.
Yeah, 520 hours of diligent, like trying to get better, not just like fucking around. Fucking around, it'd be like 10,000 plus hours. You'd have to like use those fucking hours to like actually be getting good. Like, and it's really hard to like want to play chess and like push yourself. It's easy to like play chess and fuck around, which is pretty much what I do.
Well, that's why I've been going on VChess and doing like the next moves just over and over to try to work on that. I feel like that is better than just playing a game.
Yeah, I mean they're both good. I mean playing a game and doing those puzzles are gonna help, but it's really just like, so the thing where it would be like 1,000 hours is if you study in-game positions, which I don't have memorized, and or I don't have like I don't know like the techniques that are like that could like just dominate. Like for instance, if you have like a bishop and a knight and a king versus a king, like knowing how to mate in the fastest pattern or even how to mate is like very complicated. It's like one of the most complicated mates that you can do if you just have a bishop and a knight versus just a king by himself. That's like a very complicated mate, and a lot of people can't do it.
It's really easy to mate if you're good looking.
Yeah, that's true.
I've learned from John.
Yeah, it's easy to wait. Mate white or black? John said. Which one?
You know what I learned from John? Any waitress that smiles at you totally wants to bang it.
Wonderful. AU connection. This card. Sean Connolly, he does designs for stuff. And what's
John Seth, you're hot mic and anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah. I really want to get better as well.
Well, if you really want to get better, you can hire a chess coach, and then that will fucking expedite your learning like crazy. But I mean, that's kind of weird now with all this like online training shit.
I don't want to do online.
Well, then there's probably a chess club in your town that you can go to. I mean, they'll probably meet like weekly or bi-weekly. They'll have like little hangouts and shit. All right, I just Googled or ChatGPT'd. If you do 450 hours, you're likely to get to at least 1,400. If you do 600 to 900 hours, you're likely to get to 1,600. 1,000 to 1,600 hours is 1,800. 3,000 hours, 2,000. 4,000 hours, 2,100. 7,000 hours, 2,200. 9,000 hours, 2,300. 12,000 hours, 2,400, and 18,000 hours, 2,500 usually cannot be achieved.
Yeah, but dude, well, there's a component in here. Like, some people...
You have to stay motivated that whole time.
You interpose, like, certain brains or how your brain's wired. Spending that number of hours ain't going to get you to that rating.
Well, with enough motivational energy, my theory is you can rewire your brain just to do about anything within, I mean, there's limitations obviously, but I don't know if, I think the biggest thing is if you don't necessarily have the brain for it, then it just becomes harder, but you can still do it. It just isn't going to be easy to stay motivated for fucking 10,000 hours. Because staying motivated to constantly be getting better is a different sort of thing than just playing for 10,000 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, maybe, and you can certainly do things to help rewire the brain. That's true. You can see that from injuries, right, and learning stuff, obviously. But I think, I don't know, if you lack strategy or like multiple orders thinking capacity or capability, there's no way you're gonna spend 700 or 800 and hit that rating. And maybe even if you double it, I seriously doubt that.
It depends on if you're making progress. Like if you're putting in hours and you're not making progress, then you kind of are understanding your logarithmic curve off of like your potential.
Yeah,
so I guess you'll find that out sort of like early. Like if you put in, let's say you sink in 1,000 hours and you're not making the progress that other people are making, that might be an indicator that your top is, going to be a lower range.
You're right. Exactly. But I think everyone tops out somewhere, and then it's marginal.
Right. But what's kind of weird is there hasn't been a woman that has risen to the ranks of the top tier chess players in the world. And you would have thought that there would have been at least a few anomalies where there's been a few women that have gotten all the way to the top, like in terms of like rankings and FIDE rankings and stuff. So there is something to be said about like genetics or brain composition or just who we are as humans and stuff with some of this crap. You know what I mean?
Oh, Joseph is missing for this analysis.
Yeah, unless you're watching Netflix, Kimberly and the Queen's Gambit. In that case, women are fucking dominant. By the way, I really like that Netflix show.
How many times have you watched it?
Once.
How many?
Just once.
Have you analyzed the games in the series?
Oh, but I do know that some of the positions are real because they were trying to make it like fun, so they actually used like real positions from real games that were like epic. So that was kind of cool that they did that. Now, ChatGPT will tell me why a woman's never been ranked in the top like 100 or top 50 or whatever. Let's see. Oh, I might be wrong. 2735, 2000. Oh, look at this. Judith Polgar, 2735. That's really high. Strongest rated lady ever. So Judith Polgar, there's a message in the chat that says no woman has ever been in the top 10. According to this, she was number 8 at one point at her peak. So I was wrong. A woman has been in the top 10. Judith Polgar. Judith Polgar is a Hungarian chess grandmaster, strongest female ever of all time. There you go. Oh, also, you know, it's funny. I think this is the same lady who beat Gary Kasparov in a game, and Gary Kasparov was like famous of saying that a woman would never be able to beat him or something, and maybe he like also alluded like at his prime he would never be able to be beaten by a woman. And then this lady, many years later, beats him, and it was like a lot of like feminists and a lot of like, you know, chess players were like laughing about this. I remember that happened a few years back. And also like Gary's like super out of his prime, so yeah.
Who's that guy that plays people on YouTube that has the black mask on? You know what I'm talking about?
Shinobi or Adam Back, depending on.
I mean, he beat Gary. Is he good enough to beat Gary Kasparov right now?
I don't know who you're talking about, dude. I don't know this black mask.
I put it in the chat, Tidwell. Ray Enigma.
Now there is a woman, looks like a Chinese lady, who is ranked 143rd in the world, and she's currently the highest rated lady apparently. Hua Yofan. So 143rd is where the current lady is. I don't think chess has this idea of transgender woman stuff that other sports have. By the way, which I think is kind of also interesting. I don't think there's ever been like a controversy or a drama over women's chess like there had been with other sports. At least it never hit my radar.
Did you hear me that I put the clip in the chat, Tidwell?
Okay, let me see. Dude, I can't even. Okay, I guess I can copy. I have to like paste this to like Telegram just to be able to click it. That's retarded. Bro, what the fuck is this, dude? This doesn't even look. This looks like an AI video, dude. This doesn't even look real.
No, it is. That's a real guy. You can watch the full video on YouTube.
Well, I don't know what the fuck I'm watching. What the fuck is this?
Gary Kasparov.
No, I know that, but what the fuck is this incognito guy? This doesn't even look like a real thing.
That's how I was pointing it out.
She still plays at an amazing level. But
Ray Enigma is a Spanish chess player, and no one knows who he is. An anonymous content creator, 3 million followers on TikTok, 2 million followers on YouTube, has played Magnus Carlsen, like all the big names, including Judith Polgar, the lady we were talking about just a second ago. Unknown identity. And then he wears this fucking checkered flag face covering. This is like the silliest fucking thing. I like, how did I not know about this guy?
he's got to be one of the known names that just does it, right? Can't be somebody unknown.
There's a lot of people that are really good. Like there's a lot of people that are like in the 2,600 range that like could maybe be like incognito, but like when you get to like the 2,700 plus, like you're pretty much like people like that's like a thing where like.
I mean, if you're gonna play in a tournament, you're gonna be known.
Right. What I'm saying is there's a lot of people around the 2,600 range that like there'd be enough quote unquote Spanish players around that level to not dox yourself. What I'm trying to say is like if he was really good, he'd probably like.
Kidwell, how is that number derived?
It's kind of like a credit score. You just kind of make it up. So if you beat someone with a higher elo than you, get higher number. If you lose to someone with a lower number than you lose even more. If you lose to someone with a much higher elo than you lose very little. It's just like it's just the ranking. It's the arbitrary ranking system. And each FIDE has their own database and calculation methods. And also, if you haven't played chess in a very long time, you go back into a provisional state where every game you play has a multiplier sort of idea to get you closer to maybe what you would actually be at. Yeah, I mean, it's arbitrary shit. It's just a way of like knowing where you're at compared to other people in terms of your overall strength of your playability. chat. I don't know if this is supposed to be a joke or not, but it made me look up the highest rated Nigerian player.
What's their ELO?
Highest rated ELO, according to ChatGPT, is 2363, and that was in February 2016. But I wonder, that was 2016, so I wonder what, that was 9 years ago? The current highest rated player is at 2331. Nigerian Adabalaram Akatoyi. If the highest rated player is a FM, that means they have no international or grandmasters, I assume is what that means. So I guess there's probably like a lot of countries that have like no IMs or GMs.
How do you become a grandmaster?
You just have to have a really fucking high rating and like win some tournaments and shit. But
Yeah, but does it come from winning certain competitions or?
That's a good question. I think you have to. I think it's like, I don't know. Let me look it up. But there's 195 countries in the world, and only 88 countries have at least one grandmaster. So a little less, a little more than a third of all the countries have at least one really good chess player here.
I think you gotta hit a certain rating. But first, to become a grandmaster, you gotta become a master. You gotta climb up that ladder.
You also have to reach a rating of at least 2,500, according to FIDE ratings. Earn 3 GM. You have to win 3. You have to perform well in at least 3 tournaments. So in your tournament play, you have to have a performance rating of 2,600 plus, and at least 9 games in the tournament. And so you have to have at least 3 tournaments where you've performed at a 2,600 plus rating. You have to actually have a rating of 2,500 or more. And once you're a GM permanently. You never lose that title. You're like it's like tenure. Like you're once a GM, always a GM, even if you like suck or have like a brain injury. So, was that answer your question?
How many?
That's that question. Dave asked that question. He's not even here.
How many thousand GMs are there? I think it's 3 to 5, right?
How many like FIDE GMs are there? There's 1,700 and 72, and 41 are women. So out of 1,772, 41 of those are women. There's also 41 women who are GMs. So there's a total 1,813 total GMs currently.
That's less than billionaires in the world. That's a club.
And you have to also remember, you don't lose that title. That means like, I wonder if that means currently alive people or not. Like I want to. Andrew, check this out. Okay, Andrew, it sounds like you're eating a bag of chips. That 1,800 number is not living GMs. That's total GMs ever of all time.
Holy moly.
Yeah, so that's also the people that are dead, which is real interesting. So that means of all time, there's ever only been 41 women that have been GMs and only 1,772 men that have been GMs. So,
well, in fairness, in prior times, the game hasn't been studied or that popular. Also,
Who's
they didn't get
Boaz's score?
to be GMs by these criteria. It didn't exist before, so some never got it because they couldn't.
Sure.
But
what's Boaz's?
regardless, this is a remarkably low number.
So some sources say that there's up to 2,113 GMs of all time. But anyways, of active, alive people, or active, because I think they only consider someone active or unactive, there's around 700 current active GMs that meet the criteria of the 2,500 plus performance in at least 3 tournaments kind of criteria. So of the total number of GMs that have ever existed, about a third of them are still active. But we'll go into whether or not they're inactive because of they're dead or not, which is kind of have to read between the lines on some of that. Going back to what you're saying, Andrew, I mean, there's probably a damn good chance that only about 10% or less of us, even if we wanted to put in all the hours, would even be able to reach, those really high levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What I remember from high school days is if you were there at 2000 level, you were a unicorn. I never
You're
met
still
people.
a unicorn at 2000 at pretty much any normal chess event.
Yeah. I just never remember seeing people study all 4 years and advance to that level. And that this is a young brain, can absorb, learn, and everything, right? I just don't remember people migrating into 2000s in high school. They were kind of already there, more or less.
Cool, which I like, is so one thing I kind of like is for a grandmaster, a GM, women and men have to compete by the same rule base for GM. So there's no hey, handicap, you have to have a lower rating or whatever. But they do have something called a WGM, which does have a lower rating. But a woman can get a GM title as well. So they I think this is probably a fair way of doing it, where it's if you want an actual, they don't just call it a GM, they call it a WGM, they make it specific. So they make it where GM is gender neutral, and then if you have the lower ranking requirements, they call it a WGM. But then there's women that get the actual GM status, which they differentiate on, which I think that's probably the right way of doing it.
Yeah,
Andrew, you could probably get it.
2,092.
Andrew, you could probably get a WGM of 2,300 if you put in enough work. but you would fail to meet one criteria to get a GM.
I love your enthusiasm, ability, but I don't look good in a dress or a skirt.
I mean, that's like the right. Yeah, that might be the miss. That's probably like the only blocker for you, right? To get into 2300 GM.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys talking about becoming trans chess players?
That's what he's telling me to do.
I was making the observation that chess never hit my radar that chess dealt with any sort of trans drama like other sports.
But there are different rankings for men and women.
So if you want a GM, it's race neutral. You don't ever there isn't specific criteria for a GM. And I think that really helps because there's also women that have reached the GM status. There's not many, there's some, right? And I think that really helps with like this sort of thing. And there's also a WGM, but they never call that a GM. That's always a WGM, like a women's grandmaster. But the women that are actually good still get like the actual top rank GM stuff. So
how many female GMs are there?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. I have this all queued up for you. Ready?
Yeah, hit me.
So one thing that's interesting is GMs are measured like it's lifetime. It's not like how many are currently alive. It's like ever and active. So there's ever only been roughly 2,000 GMs ever in like all of history. And of that, 41 have been women.
That sounds about right.
And of those women, one reached the top 10. She was number 8 in the world, Judith Polgar, Hungarian. And the next rated highest lady ever got to position 143, just to give you sort of a distribution. So Judith was an extreme outlier. So not only was she a woman that got to the top 10, but like the next lady up, like wasn't even in the conversation. You know what I mean?
What is it about the female brain that makes it less good at chess?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. Because women treat their pawns like children, and it's less likely that you're going to want to sacrifice your children on the chessboard. Now, men, on the other hand, are more brutal, and they're willing to sacrifice their children for the greater good.
Is that true?
No.
It sounds good, though.
I think it's funny, or I was trying to be funny on the fly. I'm not as good as Junseth and you, but I'm getting there.
There's not, so I mean, I would imagine there's not as many women that are interested in chess to begin with, but certainly many women do play chess. Like, I mean, I don't know, when you go to a chess tournament, how many women are at it? Like, what's the percentage that are women?
The younger you are, the higher the distribution of like it being super mixed.
And then it gets weeded out as you get older.
It's kind of like kids with gymnastics. Everyone like under 5 or 4 years old, like it's just pretty much 50-50, right? And then as the kids get older, it's like, where'd all the boys go, you know?
You know, I've tried like occasionally to get into chess, and it just never has been interesting to me. I'm just not interested in it at all.
Right,
you know?
right. You might be a woman. It's fine.
Maybe that's it. Yeah. I think it's because I wasn't. Nobody in my family played chess, so I wasn't exposed to chess at a young age. I didn't play chess until I was like 25.
Right.
And
my 2-year-old is playing chess with me right now.
Right.
Obviously, he doesn't know what he's doing, but he's like moving the pieces around and like trying to try to play chess, like
just learning the patterns of the pieces.
Right. Yeah. Like I was playing chess at 3 years old. Right. Similarly, like just understanding like how the pieces move early is gonna like help you, even if you don't have like the brain composition to ever like be like top tier. It's gonna like put you way ahead of other people who like never like really looked at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. It's not interesting to me, but I do appreciate people who are like when I said the chess tournament and you blundered and then went on tilt. That was very interesting to watch. You know, like I was like curious to watch it, but I don't know. Like playing chess is boring to me. But yeah, it's like
was that the tournament where I like totally fucked and won on time?
it was a Bit Block Boom tournament, and you made a mental mistake against Rockstar, I think. And then you went on tilt and you kept making mistakes because of your one mistake. You like couldn't forgive yourself for your one mistake.
Oh, is this the one where Rockstar beat me?
Yeah, Rockstar ended up winning the tournament, I think.
So we did another. So the next year.
You beat yourself, really. I watched it, and you beat yourself in that moment.
So the next year, Rockstar comes to TapConf. And we played like 6 games. Rockstar and I play 6 games with an audience, and I go 6-0 against them. And then the following, I go to Bit Block Boom. This is me like now I'm like, oh fuck, I like got mad, you know, that I like lost the way I did. Go on to win 2 Bit Block Boom chess tournaments, and then I'm retired.
I only saw the one where you lost, so to me, you are a loser. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. It is what it is. You know.
I know. I'm still kicking myself because of it.
No, you really were. Yeah, you made like that mistake, and then you just like couldn't recover, and I could just tell that you had the yips. You know, like you just like were in your head, and that happens. You know, but like
it didn't help that. I think when I made that mistake, the position was sort of simple and there wasn't really enough entropy, I felt like, maybe to recover. Because I still kind of remember that game. Very traumatic for me, by the way.
What is your ELO ranking or whatever?
It's pretty low. On chess.com, it is pretty low.
Do we lose Michael, or is it me?
I mean, I'm still here.
I couldn't hear you for a second.
Let me see. My stats are not impressive. My highest ranking is about 1,600, which according to ChatGPT,
pretty good.
According to ChatGPT, if you spend 600 hours actually trying to get good at chess, you should be able to reach the level of 1,600. If you spend 600 hours trying to get good at chess and like having like a study plan and wait, hold on, intense study, regular coaching, and serious play. In 600 hours, you too can be this good.
Okay, so I just need to put in 10 hours a day for 2 months, and then I'll be as good as you are.
If that's I mean, get a coach, regular coaching, serious play, intense study. Yes.
I'm gonna do that, and then just show up at BitBlock Boom or TapConf and just destroy you. Yeah.
That'd be so funny. It's like so unexpected. It's like, Hollow, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I just got good at chess, bro. What's up? Oh, I've been good at chess. Yeah.
Like, how did you make it to the final round? Like, what happened?
I like strategy and stuff, but I just, I don't know. Chess just ain't my thing, dog. Did you ever meet Ella? She was the captain of the Harvard chess team. She's a Bitcoiner. She used to be on this app, but she hasn't been on the app for a while.
Dude, if she was on a college chess team, she's probably way better than me.
Captain of the Harvard team.
I know, she was probably... I'm guessing she was like in the 2000s.
I think she had a 2000 something. I can't remember what it was, but it was a 2000 something. And she was, there was a time in here, Michael, when she played like 6 people like at once and defeated everybody like in 5 minutes. You know, it was like, and all 6 people were like pretty decent chess players.
It's so crazy, like how
very smart. She went to work for a hedge fund.
If someone's rated like 2,000 and someone's rated like 2,100, the difference there is so immense. Like it's so kind of like
what is like a Magnus Carlsen? What's his rating?
like 28 something, 2,900 something.
So it's like really up there. Is anyone at 3,000?
Well, I mean, Magnus at one point was 3,000, but these ratings, when there's only like a few people over 2,800, these ratings don't really mean a whole lot. It's just really relative to like, because if you're at, let's say you're at 2,900 and the next rated person is 2,700, who are you going to play to up your rating? You know what I mean? You can only lose. You need to like have other people get good so you can like boost yourself up. So it's like kind of inflation resistant, if that makes sense. So there's
it seems like Magnus is on the downslope in his career. Is that right?
Like I said, like these numbers get inflated and deflated naturally as.
Oh, not about his number, but more like he was so dominant, nobody could beat him, and now people are starting to beat him.
No, he's super dominant still.
Didn't the Indian guy beat him?
Yeah, but I mean, when you play a fucking 100 games, you're gonna lose a few here and there, and those are gonna make big news.
Yeah.
Like he's still super dominant. Is
he the best? Is he the best chess player that ever lived?
Well, this is a good question because he lived in the age of computer engine learning, and Bobby Fischer didn't, right? So it's.
What about like Gary Kasparov too?
Well, I mean, Bobby Fischer was arguably better than Gary, but
better than
also
Kasparov.
this is right. I mean, arguably speaking, Bobby Fischer was the best player ever without computers, and Magnus Carlsen was the best player. Period. Granted, tool set and stuff has evolved, right? Like if you were able to have an engine immediately tell you what the best move is, and then you can understand why, that's a different thing than not actually knowing and then assuming things and then realizing 10 years later, oh, this was bad, versus an engine telling you that in like 1 second,
Yeah, totally. Bobby Fischer kind of went crazy too at some point, didn't he?
He kind of became. I think he started running Bitcoin knots. He became like anti-Semitic. He became
he moved to Iceland and started ranting about the Jews and stuff.
Yeah,
and then
he was ahead of his time.
The quality of his play went down like significantly.
Yeah. Like he went Kanye before it was cool.
He was the best chess player ever, right? Like there's never been a better American.
No. There's this guy named Hakuro, that is American, who is considered to be the best of all time, pretty much.
Oh, really? He's better than Fischer?
He's been like a top 3 player for like a decade. He's like a Asian American. If you're talking about a real American.
I actually enjoy watching the Battle of the Minds that is a chess match, like a high-level chess match. It's actually kind of interesting as a spectator sport, But like,
yeah, it's as fun as watching paint dry.
I think it's interesting if there's good commentary over top of it, where the announcers are explaining what's happening, then it's very interesting, Because I don't know chess, so like I need it explained to me, like, oh, he went with the English opening and that was a mistake, whatever. I need all that shit. I can't believe he would have done a pawn sacrifice here. I don't know any chester.
Dude, the thing about Hakuro is he's like a Twitch streamer, and he's like a personality. So like he makes more money from his Twitch stream than he does from like tournaments now. Like that's how big, like, that's like the meta right now. If you're a chess player, you become an entertainment chess player. Kind
of like the video game guys, similar kind of thing.
Michael, who's the best Bitcoiner chess player? Was it Jimmy Song?
I beat his ass a few times, but he is good. But
You beat him?
Yeah, I beat him.
I didn't.
Michael's very good, except for the one time I was watching.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that tournament I was in should have been mine, but it wasn't because Hoddle was watching me, and I get very nervous when Hoddle watches me.
I'm disappointed because I watched you too, and I've never seen you fumble it.
Hodl will be a lead investor in whatever company I end up starting.
That's right.
So I get very nervous when he's around me. But the Hikiro Nakamura is his name, and he's rated 2816, number 2 in the world. Personality, he's like the most entertainment-based personality. Wait, what? I feel like someone asked me a question. Oh, Jimmy Song. Oh, the best chess player is a guy named Martin that I know of. He's a FM or IM international master. He was rated about 24 something. He decided to get into Bitcoin because it's like a chess player that can't like 2600 plus actually doesn't have a real career in chess, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know. So he became a Bitcoin core developer, learned C++, and apparently being really good at chess translates to being able to code in C++ and be a Bitcoin dev. So that's what he does, and his name is Martin. And do you know Muzz?
Yeah, is Muzz good?
No, well, yeah, I mean, you know, it's Muzz. I like Muzz.
Zell is like a ranked player.
Oh, Zell is too?
Yeah.
David
Zell, yeah.
David, and you know, David Zell, right? Whatever.
Just Zell. David Zell.
But what I was gonna say is the Muzz ran a tournament at TabConf. Found out, so Martin just dominated me. I mean, dominate's the wrong word. He gently put me to sleep. He won pretty easily the entire tournament, and Muzz got upset that an international master entered the tournament without identifying himself. And this, I think this is kind of funny. You know, people have like conversed with Muzz, right? Like Jarvis, like you know how like he sounds and like his personality and stuff.
He doesn't seem smart.
Oh, come on, let's be nice.
No. Anyways, I thought that's what you're saying. Like, I'm willing to believe.
No. Like, this is personality is just so like, look, man, like, oh my gosh, like, you know, like, this is not right. Like, it's just like, I don't think he's dumb or anything. It's just he comes off like in a sort of a like, kind of like takes life, kind of like.
No, I think we're saying the same thing.
Anyways, so
yeah,
this is the only chess tournament.
He comes off like a stoner, like bro.
Right, but like almost like it's like a defense mechanism, so he doesn't have to take life too serious, kind of thing. But like, I do think he's like kind of smart. Anyways,
he is smart, yeah. Obviously smart.
I actually like him. It's just he has this obvious like character. I feel like that he's playing that is now his actual personality. Like I don't know if that's true, but anywho, he just made me laugh. He's like, this isn't right, man. You know what? I'm gonna take the. He's not gonna win the money. No, he can't. No, we're not gonna do this. You cannot win the money. And this is the only time I ever like have seen any chess tournament where someone won and then they were like, no, you're too good. And he's like, well, I'll donate the money. And so he donated the proceeds.
How much money was it?
I don't know, like probably less than $1,000.
Yeah.
And in today's money, probably like way more than $1,000. But at the time, I don't know, like maybe like $300-400 max.
In Bitcoin terms, yeah.
In Bitcoin terms, like probably $2,000-3,000 now. But he donated the money to the communist, to the woke. What did Max Kaiser say? The woke, transgender,
sexual. I don't know. What is?
Yeah. Anyways, that's quotable. I want that on. I think.
Which trial?
The Trump assassin.
Oh yeah, he tried to stab himself in the fucking neck with a pen.
Yeah.
Seems like a really stable.
I didn't know if that.
No, I saw that. Seems like a very stable individual. That was the guy who was hiding at the Palm Beach golf course, right? Yeah. Yeah, that guy fucking, what a whack job he is. Tried to stab himself in the neck with a pen.
In the
Like,
middle,
nah,
in
dog.
the middle of federal court. That's a
Yeah.
dramatic moment.
Yeah, I saw did you see the illustration of it?
Sketch. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. The illustration is one of the craziest things I've ever seen come out of federal court. Because usually in federal court, the sketches are everyone's very dour, you know, and just kind of morose. And this is like a very lively scene, like the most lively scene I've ever seen, I think.
The sketch, like, they have all of the walls at the courthouse. They have to frame that one.
Oh, it's a very exciting. The illustrator was probably like, "Oh my god, this is the best day of my career." Why do they do, Zach? Do you know the etymology behind like why they do those illustrations?
They don't like cameras.
No, but I know that. But why in that specific style?
Oh,
and
yeah.
like,
good question. I don't know. But I'm sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Couldn't you take a photo and then turn it into an illustration? Like, couldn't you have something with a little more detail?
You're not allowed to have cameras at all. It must be that is like the quickest way to draw things in real time, would be my guess.
It must be, right? Yeah, it's like watercolor, and they're always like very quick, brief.
Yeah, I think it might be like crayons or colored pencils. But if you ever go to a federal court, you can see the guy like doing it.
Why is it so like? It seems like we should have more transparency to what happens in federal court. Like, what is the rationale for them keeping cameras out?
House rules, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, the transcripts are public.
I know, but don't you think we, as the public, kind of deserve a higher level of transparency with federal court?
Well, it's also open to the public. You can go.
Yes, but it's open to like however many people can fit in the courthouse, and like
I think the rationale is like federal judges in particular are really supposed to be immune from any kind of politics, and having it be like a national news spectacle in real time might undermine that. I think that's what it's about. But like the press goes, there's plenty of reporting. Ordinary people can go. Like I went to both the Samurai and Tornado Cash trials, and I assume those are open to the public. I didn't have any special access. I just walked in, and like I don't know, you know, the states draw lines in different places. I think some states don't allow cameras, but the federal system they choose not to allow it. The U.S. Supreme Court also doesn't allow cameras, but they do allow audio recording.
right. I don't know. It just seems like we should demand a higher level of transparency from our government.
But is there something like that having video would be transparent about, that a word-for-word transcript plus allowing the public access and reporters access doesn't give you? Like,
yeah, I think
crowded courtrooms, they do a spillover room where they have closed caption. You can watch what's happening on CCTV.
I think it's because video is more. Video is like you're there, you know? So it's like it gives more access to more people to watch the trial in real time. And since we're all subjects of the federal government, I kind of feel like we should all have access to know what these trials are like.
Also, actually, in I think lots of, I don't know about trials, and lots of like federal hearings, you can dial in and listen in real time.
Interesting.
Question for you: Why do some trials get televised and some don't?
Well, federal trials don't. That's what we're talking about. But
federal never does, and state trials, it's really based on like interest, and then sometimes judges can bar cameras from the courtroom depending on, you know, like whatever, like lots of different factors. Like I think the OJ trial, they at one point barred the cameras from the courtroom, right? Like the cameras were in there, and then I think at one point the judge was like, "This is too much of a circus. It's disrupting my courtroom. Get the cameras out."
Yeah, if it gets in the way of a fair trial, the judge can always say.
Right.
So what you're trying to tell me is Judge Judy was not taking federal cases. Got it.
Judge Judy's an argument, which is, I think, like this is my end goal, is to be the Judge Judy of Bitcoin.
I consider myself the Judge Judy of Bitcoin, Zach Shapiro.
Zach, you know where your stage is. It's there for you when you want it.
Also, it's so easy to enforce. You just do a 2 or 3 multi-sig where the parties each have a key.
Right. It's like the easiest thing in the world. There you go. Here's your music, Zach. Dun, dun. Zach's on the bench. Knott's first core. CSAM.
It's also basically unregulated. You don't need any stuff. You don't need to be a lawyer. You don't need to have been a judge. Like, if you want to be an arbitrator and people are willing to bind themselves to your decision, you can just be an arbitrator.
Zach, are you familiar with the contiguous bytes argument?
No.
So the fact that CSAM, which is a new term I think for everyone,
Nope, unfortunately I've heard that one.
Well, this is new for me at least, but CSAM having contiguous bytes versus in the witness is distinctly different, and the government and laws will come down, because it's contiguous bytes instead of being separated every, whatever amount of bytes. There's a small 1 byte separator. Have you heard this argument being made by Luke and others?
I haven't, but I would be very skeptical of legal arguments being made by engineers.
Well, this is currently the Steelman argument for not running core. It's part of the Steelman for not running core, verified by Luke yesterday.
I would be willing to stake a lot of money on there is not a reasonable legal theory that gets you in trouble for child porn images if you run core.
Man, has anyone just told Mechanic this on Twitter? And
Zach, they get mad at Zach for saying.
Yes.
They get very mad at Zach for saying things like this. They accuse him of all sorts of things.
Okay. Well, this is, what's funny is 5 months ago, I was thinking this is sort of like a nothing burger, but because of the attention and time spent on it, and
it's
the amount of back
literally a
and forth.
campaign to sow fear, uncertainty, and doubt. This is one of the most textbook cases of actual FUD I've ever seen in my life.
Right, but what I'm trying to say, the point I'm trying to make in case it's not clear is I really do think that this is doing damage in terms of effort to combat and question and answer endless pits of concerned, upset FUD. I personally know people that are spending a tremendous amount of time either stressed out about this or answering endless questionnaires from people.
Yeah, it's a huge waste of time. Well, we talked about this the other day and landed on a pretty decent analogy. It was like arranging books in the library that points to a URL. Was that the one? Anyway, running a node and not it's not the same thing as downloading a child porn.
It's very weird because the people that are, saying there's going to be a state attack seem to be engaged in a state attack.
Right.
This seems kind of like a state attack. Although,
let's say there even was some risk of that. The people are going all the way to, if you're a random employee of a company that does ordinals, you are responsible for everyone else downloading. It's so ridiculous. And
it's very autistic. Yeah. The CSAM thing is just an emotive argument, by the way, because they didn't. It's true because they didn't come to it until very recently. They've been on this same warpath for months.
Anytime.
I had the same opinion, Huddle. I had the same opinion. I called Luke out on it, and this is how the conversation started. And he said, "No, you're wrong." And then he linked to me how this was part of the original discussion, which missed my radar because it wasn't brought up. So I was very surprised that I only found out about this yesterday, that it was part of the original core concern that Luke had. And that was not very clear to me until yesterday. So I will say he is being consistent on this, but it wasn't brought to everyone's attention until Mechanic scream CSAM and child, pornography or whatever.
If you, think about the rest of it, right? So this is less true in Bitcoin, but let's say, in an account-based model like Ethereum, if you were to send someone an NFT that has embedded code in it from which you could reverse engineer, like a child porn image, does that, if someone just sends you that NFT, you're a criminal, even though you have no control over it? Does that seem like the way the criminal law works?
The answer to that is obvious. It's whatever Mechanic tells me to think, because that's how people are thinking right now.
Because Mechanic is a First Amendment lawyer?
Exactly. I really wish, so I assume, Zach, at one point you've engaged on this publicly on Twitter, or no? Have
Yes.
you sort of avoided it?
I engaged when I saw someone, I forget the guy's name, I think it's the guy who runs Bitcoin University, was saying
This
that
is
all the people...
Cranner, so it's Bitcoin University.
That guy. He was calling for all the people who work at Taproot Wizards to be thrown in prison. And I was like, this is actually an attack on Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's actually insane. I can't understand the motivation behind saying something like that. It seems very odd. But I don't think any of these people are. I don't think any of these people are actual state actors. I think they're all just autists.
Oh, no, I don't think. Oh, by the way, we had the conversation, I think, a couple of weeks ago about. You asked me if I thought Nick Fuentes was controlled by or funded by Qatar, and I said no. And I still think no as to Nick Fuentes. I am increasingly suspicious, though, about Tucker Carlson. I don't know if you saw his new 9/11 truther stuff, but he's trying to exonerate Saudi and all these and make it the first version. He's blaming the CIA. Clearly, this is going to end up being an anti-Israel thing at the end. But he really backly what
It's widely known he got $15 million from a Qatari.
Okay, I didn't even know that, but
yeah.
Who does Tucker? Whose interest? I mean, other than maybe the Qataris or whatever, but whose interest does Tucker serve? That's the question I ask him when I think about Tucker, because I see him run these playbooks on people where he'll go out and discredit somebody in a very high level way, and maybe he's doing it on his own accord for his own purposes, but maybe it's on his behalf, and I can't figure it out.
But a lot of it seems to line up with what foreign adversaries. There was a while where he was just kind of echoing exactly the same stuff that Putin was saying, right? And just kind of being broadly anti-America. And now it seems it might just be that he is accepting foreign money, and it's not one, it's multiple of these groups.
I haven't been listening to him. I never really listen to his show or anything, but I've seen clips and whatever. He's just like a person on my screen. But I really kind of don't take him seriously anymore, because I think he works for somebody, but I can't figure out who.
Well, apparently Qatar gave him $15 million. So that it could just.
Is that enough to buy him though? He's very rich.
It's enough to maybe buy a weird 9/11 truther documentary and to focus more on Israel.
Yeah. Well, by the way, the question I asked you about Fuentes was not about Fuentes having direct involvement with the Qataris, but the question was more specific as to, do you think that Fuentes hitting all of our social media screens is because of the Qataris?
No, I think it's because of the anti-woke Twitter algorithm.
He's blown up on my Twitter feed. The algo all the time is pushing his videos.
He's the new Andrew Tate. He's taken over the algo.
It was starting 6 weeks ago.
Yeah. Before Charlie Kirk died.
Oh.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think it's the rage bait, edgelord algorithm on X.
I'm seeing it on Instagram too. Heavy on Instagram. Not on YouTube though. YouTube still seems to have.
Well, YouTube's about to unban everyone who's gotten banned for political speech, so Fuentes may be back.
Are they?
Well, YouTube came out today apologizing for banning people with different political opinions and that they would reinstate it.
I don't trust it. Fuentes has been he took advantage of the Kirk thing when it happened, but after the fact, his audience seems to be turning on him because he's being intellectually honest and not blaming Israel, because it's very clear that or there's no evidence to suggest Israel had any involvement, but his entire audience is like they think Israel is responsible for everything, and so that's like losing him some followers at the moment.
It's the same thing as, like, in a different way, the Dennis Border thing. Like, people, like, it's really, like, it's disappointing to see this again and again. People don't want truth. They want what they want to hear.
Yes. No matter what political side they're on.
Sure. Or even non-political things, like the Dennis Border incident.
Yeah. Everybody wants their biases confirmed.
That's the main product that social media sells, whether it's showing you people who agree with you in an echo bubble or showing you people who, like, are the enemy that you expected to see and bring you into rage bait. Like, the main product of social media is the type of dopamine that comes from having your biases confirmed.
You know, it actually wasn't an accident either. It was designed that way. Not for most purposes, but because that's what people assumed would be a better model. So, like,
well, they train the algorithm for DAUs and MAUs because that's how Wall Street values, or at least did value these companies.
But even before then, the broad theory about the new way we were going to engage with media was going to be specific algos and feeds tuned for our interest and likes, which makes sense because it's like, when you used to read the newspaper, there was a lot of stuff in the newspaper that you didn't give a fuck about, and that's why people would just read certain sections of the newspaper. They wouldn't read the whole newspaper. And you were seen to be a very informed person if you read the whole newspaper cover to cover. But, so they were like trying to like atomize it basically. But the atomization created a tribal quality that has been unmaking society. I don't know, not an easy problem to come back from. I think the Charlie Kirk thing, at first glance, I thought was good for Fuentes. Now I think it's actually bad for Fuentes. Because Charlie Kirk has become such a martyr, and Fuentes really was his mortal enemy.
Well, that's good news, I guess. Like,
yeah.
If people really... I do think that, like, if we're being really honest about Charlie Kirk, a lot of what he was doing was a troll, and he did say things that he knew would offend people, whatever. Of course, you're allowed to do that, and on balance, his views are mainstream Republican. But, like, if the outcome is we're just going to, like, focus on the good stuff that Charlie Kirk did, of which there was a lot, and whitewash it, and, like, the message is people should live by the idealized version of Charlie Kirk, that's a great outcome.
I think it is too, and I'm pleasantly surprised by it. You know, I mean, that was the thing I thought was very stupid about the left-wing response to, like, the memorial service that happened the other day. Because they were like, oh, look at that, it's all sanctimonious, and it's Christian nationalism, and it's this and that. And it's like, this is so preferable to the alternative, you know? This could have been the moment the right decided we're going to kill everybody. Like, it could have been that moment. And thank God it's not. I think Erica Kirk getting up there.
It felt that way a little bit in the beginning.
Well, that's the difference between the right and left, is that, you know, the right can at any point decide they're going to kill everybody and then actually do it. The left cannot do it. Like, so it's very nice to see the side of America that has all the guns praying quietly and, you know, trying to come to grips with what happened rather than taking to the streets. Because the minute that side takes to the streets, it's the end of the country. But it could have gone a different way. Thank God it didn't.
Do we think this is the end of Dennis Porter? Like, I am surprised actually at the level of, like, I thought everyone knew that his chick was overhyping stuff and, like, they were stupid for falling for it this time, but people are angry.
I need to read some of the tweets.
Like, if you go to his, people are upset and just universally flaming him.
He deserves it. You know.
Oh yeah, it's just surprising given that, like, he's been this way the whole time. I don't understand how people are just figuring this out now.
You know what it is? It's about the Bitcoin price. So people are really, this bull market has really sucked, and people are really starting to get annoyed by it, and they were looking for a reprieve, and they thought his announcement would pump the price, basically, and it didn't happen, and now they're furious with him.
Maybe it sticks. Maybe the arc of history does bend towards justice.
Unfortunately,
I doubt this. I mean, he's got, what, 250,000 followers? Maybe he'll lose 20,000 of them or something from this, but I think he's still going to be around.
Yeah, but if it becomes, like, embarrassing to associate with him, that's a step in the right direction.
It's always been. But what happens with accounts like this on Twitter, people like Dennis, is they don't lose their followers, but they just become irrelevant. Like, they just, like, there's no engagement anymore. You know, it happened time and time again.
Like Pete Rizzo.
People just stop giving a fuck, you know? And that's what'll happen to Dennis.
Well, Pete just straight up, like, outsourced his thing to make some money, and I assume he'll take it back over at some point, but it's certainly going to have devalued over that period. But I assume he did, you know, make a decent chunk of change without having to do anything, right? Someone else is.
What's Pete doing? He just, like,
It's basically Dennis Porter, but it's actual news, right? It's just like breaking all caps, but it's like, news that actually did just come out.
I think Pete's doing that. Is he not doing that? He's not the one behind the keyboard?
I don't think so. There was a big, like, uproar because he had some job posting for, like, you know, $10,000 a year for, you know, an hour a week of support to do it.
He's doing the Bitcoin Treasuries thing with NBK, isn't he?
Remember, sir? Yeah. Yeah, I think he's doing a few different things.
Yeah. But yeah, I've seen this happen. People get famous or infamous or whatever for something, and then everybody just gets bored with it. That's how, with a whimper.
There are 180 public companies in the world now with Bitcoin on their balance sheet. That's according to BitcoinTreasuries.net. Strategy is the largest, the most prominent of these so-called Bitcoin strategies. Really sort of coined the concept. The company was one of a number of industry leaders in DC last week as well, pushing for the strategic Bitcoin reserve bill. So joining us now is Michael Saylor, Strategy's executive chairman. Michael, it's great to speak with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Morgan.
Okay, there's a lot to get to, but first I do want to start with the fact that there are reports that you were in Washington last week meeting with policymakers about this strategic Bitcoin reserve bill. How are you advising lawmakers right now, and why is the case there to create a strategic reserve?
Well, I think Bitcoin's good for the nation, and the country would benefit. We did buy something like 78% of the entire United States for about $40 million over the past 100 years or so. So I think the United States ought to own a large part of cyberspace, and Bitcoin is the next frontier.
What does it do to prices, especially as they've been chopping sideways, even coming off a little bit recently?
You know, I think the real story in Bitcoin right now is corporate adoption. We've got a consistent acquisition of Bitcoin by the big ETFs like BlackRock, and that's taking up all the natural supply, and they're doing that on behalf of institutional investors. But these 180 companies that are capitalizing on Bitcoin are buying even more than the natural supply being created by the miners, and they're putting upward pressure on the price. And I think that as we work through the resistance of late and some macro headwinds, we'll actually see Bitcoin start to move up smartly again toward the end of the year.
At the beginning of this year, you and I in January sat down, had an hour-plus conversation at the ICR conference about this very idea, Bitcoin Treasury, what you were doing at Strategy, and where it made sense for others to potentially adopt a similar concept as well. What are the types of companies that you're seeing lean into this, and at what point do you think it starts to accelerate if it does?
Well, I think you've got two types of companies. You've got operating companies that would otherwise be returning their capital via dividends and buybacks, or they would just be holding low-yielding money markets. And they're choosing Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset, so that actually improves their capital structure. It strengthens those companies. There's a lot of those. And then there's a second sort of company, the true treasury companies. They're capitalizing on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is digital gold. The world ran on gold-backed credit for 300 years. The world's going to run on digital gold-backed credit for the next 300 years. So treasury companies, in essence, are holding digital capital and creating digital credit instruments on top of that digital capital. And there's, of course, a huge demand for equity and credit instruments in traditional capital markets, and Bitcoin is emerging as the ideal form of digial capital to back those instruments.
Yeah, and I want to dig into that a little deeper here, Michael. But first, I mean, gold's having a huge run right now, too. It's at $3,800 an ounce. It's basically trading at record after record this year. But Bitcoin hasn't sort of moved lockstep. So how to think about that analogy in this environment?
JP Morgan said gold is money, everything else is credit. This morning I said Bitcoin is money, everything else is credit. The price of gold is indicative of the demand of mainstream investors to have a bearer instrument that's a long-term store of value, that's not a currency derivative and doesn't have counterparty risk to a corporation. Gold fits that bill. Bitcoin fits that bill even better, and it's sort of got the digital upside. You know, you can't teleport gold, and you can't program gold to vibrate at 1 million times a second on a computer. So Bitcoin is the technology version of gold. It's digital gold. It's going to be, in my opinion, 10x bigger than gold, but they're the same idea.
How do you compare that to Ethereum, which investors seem to be very hot on, and we're starting to see Ether treasuries built out, holding companies built out as well, like BitMine. And then you've got stablecoins as well, which seem to be surging. Just a few minutes ago, headlines that Tether is seeking between $15 billion and $20 billion in exchange for a roughly 3% stake through a private placement, for example.
You know, Bitcoin has emerged as digital gold. There's consensus. What do you want to do with gold? You want to issue credit. You issue credit against the underlying capital asset. It's going to be the primary monetary crypto. Ethereum, Solana, the other tokens, they're emerging as sources of digital finance. Their use case is networks to circulate and tokenize stablecoins, tokenize currencies, tokenize securities, tokenize real-world assets, and implement DeFi. And so the future of those networks is going to be determined by technology, by regulation, by competition, and of course by the execution of those management teams.
How should investors think about navigating an investment in strategy specifically, which I know you've described as a levered bet on Bitcoin, versus the other BTC-backed fixed income instruments that you've launched in recent months?
Yeah. The credit instruments we're offering, like Stretch, are meant to compete with short-term money market funds or other sorts of fixed income instruments. So if you're a fixed income investor and you believe in Bitcoin and you're interested in something that has higher yield or perhaps longer duration, then you would look at one of our credit instruments. If, on the other hand, if you're a Bitcoin maximalist and you actually want more Bitcoin, then our equity is actually got credit amplification in it. So the equity is amplified Bitcoin. So people that want more volatility, more upside than Bitcoin will go for the equity. People that are interested in having the volatility and the risk stripped away will look at the credit.
Okay. How do you ensure you're not over your skis with any of these instruments if Bitcoin plunges again?
Well, we've got about $70 to $75 billion of Bitcoin. We've only got about $6 billion of these preferred credit instruments outstanding, so it's not even 10%. And of course, the preferreds never come due, and so they're not really leverage. I could say that we've got a PhD in leverage at strategy. We lived through the crypto winter, so we've constructed a balance sheet that could handle any conceivable drawdown and continue to perform.
So how do you respond to some of the critics out there? Jim Chanos a couple days ago saying that your tactics to boost returns are quote-unquote financial gibberish.
As I would say, for 300 years, the entire Western world ran on gold-backed bonds. What we're doing is distilling yield, duration, and we're offering those in digital credit instruments. We're stripping away the volatility. We're stripping away the risk. And there's a huge number of people in the world that want some sort of digital credit instrument. The ones we're offering are higher yielding. They may be more liquid. And they may be longer duration than all the comparable credit instruments out there. The only way to create them is using digital capital, and Bitcoin is digital capital. I think the short sellers don't understand the use case of digital credit built on digital capital because they've never seen it before in the history of capital markets.
Well, we appreciate you coming on to talk about it. Michael Saylor of Strategy, great to have you.
Thank you.
Man, does this motherfucker have anything new to say? Same boring shit I've heard a million times.
Asking him the same shit.
It's the same shit. He never has anything new. Bitcoin's an ethereal fountain in cyberspace where you can go and, I don't know, keep your money safe from calamity or whatever. Like, cool. We get it, bro.
That's the message, yeah. We gotta keep saying it.
It really is, like, I feel the same way. Like, Bitcoin never changes, so to say about it never changes either.
Andrew, do you know anything about the Tether pipe deal?
Ooh, what's Tether got going on?
Well, it was just mentioned and I looked it up, but apparently they're trying to raise like $3 billion at a $500 billion valuation.
What for? For Tether or for Bitcoin treasury stuff?
I don't know. I mean, I just know it seems like it's for Tether.
It's a good business, man.
Yeah, I don't understand why they would want to raise other than to just, I don't know. Like, it seems like they have more money than they know what to do with.
I know, right? Like, what is the point of the raise? Maybe it's to pass the hat and basically get some strategic partnerships going on.
Yeah, or just like have more, I don't know, the safety of being in American markets. Like,
well, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, you invite JP Morgan Chase into your deal, and then suddenly, like, you know, you can make phone calls to regulators.
Oh, they're raising 15 to 20 billion for 3% stake.
God damn. God damn. Man, isn't it amazing? Any of us could have thought of Tether at any time. There was nothing unique about that idea.
The young kid did.
I know. Good for him.
Yeah, it's through, I think Cantor is acting as their lead advisor, which I'm like 1 degree away removed from the kids running Cantor who went to Stanford, and I'm friends with some guys who are in their frat. Apparently they're like pretty dumb, word on the street, but
well, the rest of the people at Cantor are not dumb. So
yeah.
I'm sure your frat bros are though.
Yeah. The Letniks.
The Letniks of the world are not dumb.
That's what losers say to make themselves feel better. Oh yeah, they're dumb.
They're dumb.
They're only raising $500 billion valuation.
It's Andrew's right. That is like a that is a thing.
I haven't met him, but in some circles, yes. In some circles, it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. At Stanford, there's like kind of smart kids, and then kids who got in for other reasons, whether it be like parents or sports or affirmative action or whatever.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah. And I don't know. I haven't met the Letniks. Maybe they're actually really smart.
Howard Lutnick seems pretty intelligent.
You have to be smart enough. Okay, you don't have to be the smartest. Remember that.
Yeah.
Beyond that, you got to put in the work, and then your network, your connection.
Andrew's right. It's just about being smart enough, and then having like grit, determination, social charm, balls, courage, risk tolerance. Yeah.
Politics sometimes on your side.
The intangible. If you asked me, like, you could have your son be 150 IQ, or you could have him be 115 IQ with all these intangibles, I would obviously take all the intangibles.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, good point.
Now, if you're 150 IQ and you have all the intangibles, then you run the world. You know? Just being good with relationships is worth infinity dollars, you know? Which is like, it's the simplest shit in the world. It really is just treating people like they matter, remembering their name, caring about what they think or what's important to them. Like, if you can just do those things, you can be a billionaire. It's shockingly rare how few people do those things. Hey, Steve, how's your wife? Are you guys still living over in Belmont? Did you get that new house? That's worth $1 bajillion. Yeah?
Asking about the kid by name. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well,
is your daughter still over at Lark Hill? That's a great school, you know? That's worth $1 bajillion. Like, seriously.
You know, that's a 100-year-old book from Carnegie. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's true. I still tell people to read How to Win Friends and Influence People, and almost nobody ever does. Warren Buffett said it was the best thing he ever did, was take Dale Carnegie's course. And that's Warren Buffett, you know? I think that's one of the things that has happened, like, too, with our, like, in elite society, is that, like, we've lost actually a lot of this, you know, like, cotillion-esque, like, pomp and circumstance, like, finishing school, like, sort of, like, just manners, you know? We've lost, like, the basics of civility. And, man, if you just focused on the basics of civility, you would just, like, print money. I saw this tweet a long time ago. I really agreed with what said, you want the shortcut? There is no shortcut. Like, fucking do everything correct. Treat everyone with respect. Show up early. Be on time. Do the right things. Care about your customers. Care about your employees. Care about your business partners. Still make time for your wife and your family. And your this and your that and your friendships. It's just about doing a million things correctly. That's the secret. But all the things are easy. They're simple. That's the thing. They're all simple things. But if you do them consistently, like there's like a Tony Dungy quote where he says, winners don't do extraordinary things. They just do ordinary things so fast and so often and with such precision that it becomes extraordinary. But they're all just ordinary things. You don't win a football game by flipping over the defender to catch the football in the end zone. You know, you win a football game by consistently blocking, like consistently, you know, making the defense fear the run. Just basic shit. Same is true in life and business. But, you know, common sense isn't common. Andrew, did you see that Elon Musk has been tweeting scripture since the Charlie Kirk thing?
Yeah, remember I tweeted you? I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny enough.
I think it very much affected him.
Yeah.
Because he realized it could have been him. You know? That they would say this sort of same horrible stuff about him if somebody killed him.
Yeah. Well, I hope he attends church or something.
It would be interesting if he does. The Elon Christian arc would be fascinating.
Ooh, I have an idea. I'm gonna text the Minster and tell him, ping Rogan. Here's what Elon's been tweeting. Ping Rogan, tell him to call him, invite him to church.
Does the pastor know Rogan? Is Rogan the one who's been going?
Yeah, he attends this.
Yeah, totally.
All right, I need those tweets.
Getting Elon to come to church would be amazing.
Yeah. Send me where's this tweet about the scripture thing? Where's it? Do you have it in front of you by any chance?
I'll have to find it. Oh, hold on, I gotta call somebody back.
Man, he tweets so much, I can't find it quickly.
Just saw our boy Jimmy's doing a space with Gary Cardone.
Send link.
It's pretty much over now. That's why I left.